Welcome to the Business Beat from Greater Mankato Growth. I'm Jonathan Ziert, President and CEO of GMG, a regional chamber of commerce and economic development organization. We strive to help advance businesses to build a stronger community for now and for the future. Each episode will be sharing some marketplace highlights focusing on business and economic development from across the region. Each show consists of 3 5-minute spots featuring 2 different member guests that will air all month, as well as a 5-minute spot on community events, highlights, and other important news from Greater Mankato. This month, I'd like to talk about our regional business climate, the economy, and the workforce. You probably know this already, but let me remind you that Minnesota workers are known for being some of the most productive in the nation, and that strong Minnesota work ethic can be found throughout the Greater Mankato region. With employers reporting high productivity, motivation, and low absenteeism, the quality of the workforce is an important reason why businesses locate and expand here. Another primary reason this region has seen continued growth and stability stems largely from our businesses' diversification. Our regional economy consists of 33% primary economy, 57% professional service economy, and 10% retail and consumer. Even within those sectors, the economy is further diversified, with no single sector accounting for more than 18% of the overall economy. With those 2 factors coming into play, we know and are proud to say that Greater Mankato definitely has the talent and the opportunities needed to build and sustain this growing region. For more detailed information, please visit greatermankato.com/economy. Something you may not know is that Blue Earth County is the youngest county in the state of Minnesota, demographically speaking. If you were to draw an imaginary triangle from St. Cloud to Mankato, east to Winona, and back to St. Cloud, nearly all the counties outside that area have high median ages, while the counties within that triangle have low median ages, with the exception of counties having University of Minnesota or Minnesota State College and University campuses. The lowest median age in the state is right here in Blue Earth County. Of Blue Earth County's population, nearly 22% is 18 to 24 years of age, compared to a little more than 9% statewide. Job numbers released last month suggest continued steady growth, while future workforce retention and attraction is a primary focus. The Mankato-North Mankato Metropolitan Statistical Area, or MSA, in April had approximately 56,000 jobs, up 1% from the same time last year. Private sector service jobs were the standout growth employment sector for the second month in a row, with a 2.3% gain, or 835 jobs. However, a softening in the goods-producing employment manufacturing sector, as we refer to it, continued with a decline of 2.3%, a loss of 220 jobs. Even with the tightening in the workforce, the MSA is on track to still surpass 56,000 jobs as an average in our economy for the first time in our region's history. Being the youngest county in the state gives this area a bit of a head start with the workforce challenge that we face. Greater Mankato Growth, GMG, understands that future growth in our workforce depends on our region's ability to attract and retain the talent that our businesses need. That's why GMG has formed a talent fulfillment initiative to help change the trajectory of the predicted workforce shortages. While we strive to stay ahead of the curve related to the predicted workforce shortages, GMG also works with and supports the building and expansion activity which continues to grow a stronger Greater Mankato. Since 2012, more than 3 million square feet and $482 million in construction investments have been reported in our marketplace. In 2014, we saw more than $222 million in capital investments and more than $1 million in new or renovated square feet of buildings and facilities. Projects include the expansion of many existing businesses and nearly 30 new businesses. For details on these projects, download a PDF of our report of business expansions in Greater Mankato at greatermankato.com/business. It provides a breakdown for you for the past 3 years and details by industry sector. Lastly, I want to impress upon you this region's prowess as an ag powerhouse. You may have heard about a grassroots initiative referred to as Project ABE, created by numerous businesses and professionals from across southern Minnesota and northern Iowa. Project ABE, ABE, will propel this region as the center of ag business. The acronym ABE stands for Ag Business Epicenter. Think Silicon Valley or the Research Triangle, but apply it to the world of ag business. The vision of Project ABE is to build on existing ag business prominence and maximize a growing economic marketplace in order to be the premier ag business epicenter in the United States, the most diverse, the most balanced, and the most sustainable. We want to invite you to be a part of history and join us as we unveil Project ABE's new name and brand at our launch event. The public is invited to attend the unveiling on Monday, June 20th at 11 a.m. at Riverfront Park on West Rock Street in Mankato. Speaking at the event will be U.S. Representative Tim Walz, Co-President and CEO of AMPI, Cheryl Meschke, Scott Bergs, the co-founder and CEO of Neutral Path Communications, LLC, and Emily Combs, a research scientist at DuPont Pioneer. We can't wait to share and celebrate with you. Please let us know you'll be attending and RSVP at greatermankato.com/ag-business. We hope to see you there. If you happen to be viewing this episode of The Business Beat after June 20th, feel free to check out the new brand and further information on our website at greatermankato.com/ag-business. Now, we'll have a couple guests from our marketplace share about their business. We want to give you an inside look at who they are and how they contribute to our marketplace and make Greater Mankato even greater. Welcome to our Member to Remember segment, and I'm here today with Matt and Michael. Welcome.
Thank you.
It's great to have you on the show. Now, we're going to learn a little bit more about your companies today and about you guys and what drives you, but let's start by having you talk about your companies.
Sure. It was actually started by our great-grandfather in 1934. So this is our 82nd year in business, which is pretty special for us.
That's a milestone.
Yeah. He started it, then Grandpa joined the firm, and then Dad joined the firm, and then we were kind of just raised at the office. So it's we're fourth generation with the company, so we're very proud of that fact.
Now talk a little bit about what the companies do. What do you focus on? What's your sweet spot? What do you guys specialize in?
Sure.
Yeah, well, there's two of them, the Century 21 Atwood Realty side and then the Atwood Property Management side. And it's all the same animal. It's the same real estate services, but one side would be specializing in the sales and the other side in the leasing and the property management in general for homeowners associations, that sort of thing. So specifically, I came from the Century 21 side. I've been selling there for the last 5 years. And that's just like a different system they've got really good people working there. And I don't know if anyone else has noticed, but it seems like our number of agents is kind of, the last few years it was the 14, 15 of us that were regularly there in the office. And now there's all these people around and there's so much commotion and hubbub going on, which is good, and a new face here and there.
The other day I'm going, who are you?
Who's that
I'm a
person?
realtor here. Oh, good.
It's a pretty robust real estate environment right now.
It is.
Right? So you have to be feeling that.
It is, for sure. It's a good time. And they're feeling it. We're feeling it. They're working hard, which is good.
And your property management activities have grown substantially over the last number of years as well, right?
Quite
Want to talk about that?
Yeah, so I think there was this thought in the area that the Atwoods just owned everything.
Okay.
Because my grandpa did build a few apartment buildings here in town, but then with him and then more so with our dad and then with us now too, we're really educating people that we manage rental properties for you.
Yeah.
So that way you're not doing all the leasing and the financial reporting and all that stuff. We take care of that for you, and we actually have a really good track record of somebody says, well, I got to pay your fee. But we go in there and by increasing some rates, looking at their expenses, sometimes they're overspending in insurance or in whatever, and we'll look at their we'll try to increase their rates, decrease their expenses, and in a lot of cases make them more money working with us than they were without us. To cover our own fee and then put it.
That's probably surprising to them, isn't it?
It is. So they're going, wait a minute, I do no work now and I get paid more.
Right.
That's what we're here to do for you. So yeah.
Now you guys are a well awarded and accoladed company, but you've got some projects that you're currently finishing up on. You want to share those?
Yeah. Well, we move a lot of people. We move 3,000 people in and out of apartments every year, and hundreds of people in and out of homes that we're helping them buy and sell. But this year, we thought we should move ourselves. So we actually
Novel idea.
We moved really far. We went across the hall in the building that we're in and expanded from about 5,500 square feet to about 8,400 square feet.
Wow.
And we're in the same building downtown, and we decided to rebrand the building to Atwood Plaza. So that was kind of fun. And
It looks very nice.
Thank you.
Yeah, the signage on the side of the building is very nice.
Yeah.
Well done.
Yeah. So and actually, our grandpa built that building in the 70s. So it was time that we paid him a little tribute and named it after
Very
the
nice.
family. So,
Very nice.
yeah.
So you've got a couple of brothers, but neither of them is in the business. The two of you are. So where does that passion for the two of you to end up in this business, property management and real estate, where's that come from for the two of you?
It's totally a family thing, and it's even though the other ones aren't here in the office,
Yeah.
they're still so involved with real estate, even in their own communities, just because they don't live in Mankato anymore. And so we've got working on projects from one and real estate sales from another. Still, it's just ingrained. I don't know. It's a family passion that, like he said, we grew up in the office and we sat there watching him do it since we were born.
That's right.
And so it's kind of just in the blood and in the DNA.
Yeah.
So it almost sounds like it's also, you enjoy that experience of being able to work as a family.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
so it could have been other types of businesses, but in this case it just happened to be in real estate, but you enjoy that interaction as a family.
Right, and I think it's important to note too that there are realtors and employees and staff who have been there since we were in diapers. There's people who've been there since before we were born.
Wow.
Who were there when Dad first joined the firm, and so more than just being a family company, we do feel like we're family there because we've leaned on each other when times got rough, when Dad passed, and been together when times were great, and so it really is, everybody there is family to us.
Now, one of the things that I love about these conversations is also revealing to folks a little bit about what they might not know about you. And it turns out beforehand, you were both sharing a little bit of that with me that I think is pretty interesting. So let's share that with folks that are watching about your artistic, theatrical background that you have. Michael, you want to start?
Sure, yeah. I actually just a month ago now, almost a month ago, finished up my master's degree at MSU, and that's in choral conducting. So it's a master's of music, and I did my undergrad there too. And just a couple weeks ago, I got word that another composition is being published by a publishing firm.
Another?
Yep.
So you're published as a composer multiple times?
Yep. Yeah. And
What
it's just
a feat.
It's a fascinating little side project. You can use your weekends or nights or whatever and kind of get lost in that little world and then go back to work during the day and find out that someone somewhere else liked it. Oh, thank you. You know?
Wow.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
So,
And Matt, you?
Well, music, I think, for both of us has always been around, but just after high school with a couple of my friends, we started Home Free.
A little-known group that lots of us know a lot about now, right?
Yeah, and I was with that group as a founding member for 13 years.
Wow.
But then as they started to get really popular with the TV show and everything that they were on, I needed to step back. I had a son, and the business was demanding more time, and so I stepped back. But I also had done quite a bit of theater at Chanhassen Dinner Theaters and the Ordway and Old Log, and I'm an equity card carrying member of theater, and maybe I'll do that again someday. But for now, I'm just happy singing at church every once in a while, so I'm good there.
That is fabulous. Thanks for sharing that with us, and Michael and Matt, thanks for being here today, and thanks for the investment and impact you have on that Greater Mankato community.
Absolutely,
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us today. Welcome to our second episode of Member to Remember, and I'm here today with Diane of Whole Life Leadership. Diane, welcome. It's good to have you here.
Thank you very much. I appreciate the invitation.
Yeah, so let's start with the simple question. Let's talk about what Whole Life Leadership is, this business of yours.
Okay. Whole Life Leadership is a coaching and consulting firm. And I say firm, it's me. It's me.
You're a one-person firm.
One-person firm, but I'm the president, CEO, and treasurer, so it's all good. It
Now,
works.
You described it as a coaching
Yes.
firm, right? And folks probably have heard a lot about personal and professional and business coaching, and it's certainly one of those very common, maybe not common, but a prevalent business that exists today. But there's probably a specialty you have, a sweet spot, if you will. Where's the place you really play that's your strength?
Yeah. Yes, you're right. There are many, many more coaches out here today than when I started. And I guess I focus on, when I use whole life, I focus on people who want to make their life more whole, more balanced. Maybe there are some things they want to change, or maybe they want to learn that where they are right now is just fine. But they have to, dig into that and delve into that and look at it and say, you know what, it's all good.
So it strikes me that can be both. It could be a personal coaching experience with you. It could also be a professional who's trying to find that right intersection of personal and professional. That's where the name whole life comes from.
Yes.
Too often people try to separate those worlds. I've never been smart enough to have more than one life. So whole life, right?
Yes, right. We are in one life.
Yeah. Is that part of it? Is that you can sort of transcend? It doesn't matter if you have a personal or a professional coaching. You can be helpful to somebody.
Yes. I believe so. I do believe I can. Usually it's folks who want to make some changes in their personal lives. Maybe they want to go back to school and do something entirely different. Or maybe I have drawn to me a number of people who have been in the professional world. Perhaps they've been in the financial world or they've been in the legal world for years and years, and they're saying, I want to be somewhere else, but I don't know, and I'm scared.
And you help guide them through that.
Now,
you don't. It's not just one-on-one. You also do some trainings, right?
I
And
do.
those trainings, you were telling me about one recently where the accolades that come back as to the effectiveness that you've been able to have. You have one in particular you could share, right?
Yes. I love to do the education programs, the training in businesses and healthcare organizations, and I love to see the look on the faces in the audience when they go, oh yeah, oh I get that, or I can do that.
The epiphany, the aha moment.
The aha moment,
Right.
yeah. And I did one recently, a few months ago, and I always ask for a little feedback on a card, handwrite a card for
Good
me.
for you.
A little feedback. What was the best thing that you got out of this today? And many, it was a group of about 100, and many of them gave feedback that they learned, or maybe accepted, I don't know, learned and or accepted that they have gifts and everybody else in the room has gifts as well.
What a wonderful takeaway for people.
Yeah, I was thrilled.
Well, and wanted to mention, I mean, you work from a one-on-one situation to 100 people in a training session. Yeah. Now, how often do you do those sorts of trainings? Are they fairly regularly?
Oh, yeah, I do at least a few a year.
Okay.
Yeah, a few a year. Yeah, I don't, don't do a million of them, but I do, a few
but
a
enough
year.
of them.
Yeah.
So, Diane, clearly, this is something you have a lot of passion towards.
I do.
Energy toward. Where does that come from? How did you end up in this work? You haven't always been a coach for your entire career, but somehow you ended up here. What's the drive?
I was a teacher first.
What kind of teacher?
Oh, English and history.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
So secondary?
Secondary, here in town.
You
here
were.
in town. Loved it, and then I taught at the college as adjunct.
Okay.
And I realized that education changes lives. It absolutely changes lives. And sometimes people need the extra tutoring, coaching, work to actually get it into their life to change it. So what's the lesson I learned in history class? Well, sometimes they can't always translate it to what did that do to my heart? For me, in history class, it made me a peacenik. Absolutely a peacenik. So that was the learning, and I didn't have to be coached on that, but that was the learning I took away.
Wow. So it's that personal experience you had
Yeah.
that then really drives you to give the same to others.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow, how amazing.
Yeah, I can help them suck everything juicy out of it.
I love that.
Everything,
I love
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Now, so in addition to your business, right, that you do, and folks probably know of you in your role on the City Council for North Mankato.
Yes.
So the world sees you in a couple of different dimensions, but they don't know everything about you, right? What's one of, what's one of those talents that they may not know about you that you'd
Okay.
love to share?
Music, I love to sing and I love to play piano and I write poetry, but I have not set the poetry to music yet.
Oh, how fascinating.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you actually write the poetry.
I do.
I need to have you help me with some verse or two that I'm trying to
Okay.
make have a rhyme to it. I
Okay,
can't
okay.
rhyme 2 words, but we'll figure that out.
Okay, we will.
So poetry, music, and singing.
Uh-huh.
Well, what's
Yes.
interesting is, of course, that aligns with our first 2 guests on Never to Remember. Of course, they're all about music too, Matt and Michael. So
yes.
it's kind of a musical business beat today.
It is, it
Yeah.
is, it is. Well, and I think it speaks to the creativity. You know, music speaks to creativity, and there are, you know, music and art coaches out there now.
I was going to say, this
Yeah.
probably blends well with your coaching. Wow. Thank you so much for being
you're
with us
welcome.
today and
You're welcome.
sharing some things about whole life leadership. Whole life leadership.
That's
and,
perfect.
And as well as your personal drive and your passion. And so glad to have you on the show. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you.